Good morning. So how to break through weight loss plateaus, strength plateaus, fitness plateaus. You might be wondering, well, I've got a backpack on my back. So this backpack broke. This used to be the backpack I used all the time. It broke as I started putting some weights into it. And not just walking around, but I'll do a set on my dips, pull-ups, walk around a bit, do some job stuff. With the backpack, I'll go back to another set. All of a sudden, throughout the day, I've done quite a few sets, or throughout the morning, throughout the next hour, whatever, especially on a Sunday morning, kids around, etc. Get a few sets in, all of a sudden that adds up, small habits, compound effects. But the reason I'm sharing this is when you hit a weight loss plateau, it can be frustrating, right? But you got to consider that if you're doing this, if your intake is here, X amount of calories, whatever it is, you're losing, you're becoming smaller, but you're consuming the same amount. You might be doing the same amount of exercise. So you're becoming smaller. Every step you take now burns fewer calories. You're fitter, so you're more efficient in how you move. When you go for that run, that walk, do your steps, you burn fewer calories because you're carrying around a smaller person. You've become smaller. You're also fitter, so maybe your resting heart rate has gone down. It sounds like the downside of getting fit that they don't tell you. Your body gets more efficient. Like your heart rate goes lower per stroke, it pumps more blood out. Boom, boom. So it's not as boom, 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 boom. All these just burn fewer calories as you get stronger, as you get fitter. So what's the answer to this? Is it wearing a backpack all the way, all around? No. It's progress over time, but also, given the research is quite interesting, so they actually looked at this, and they found that when someone hit a plateau, if, for example, they lost a kilo, if they wore a backpack with extra kilo on, that seemed to help them break through the plateau, which makes sense, right? Because you're still carrying around that weight. Obviously, that's quite impractical for many. However, something to take from this is, how can I progress in one area? Whether that's in a positive way, I mean, as well, like adding something into your routine, like maybe it's looking at step count. And I think this is an important thing, because as we know that there's some kind of metabolic adaptation as we diet down, right? So like why people go, oh, stop losing weight, why have I stopped losing weight? We know there's some metabolic adaptation in there that happens that stops you losing weight like forever. You just go, oh, I've hit a plateau, I can't break through that, it's so hard. So what can we add in? Well, one, step count. Let's have a look at your step count. Can you increase your steps? Have your steps actually reduce subconsciously, because that's something that can happen in a lot of people. As you're trying to lose weight, you might just feel a bit tired all day, you might just go, oh, I don't want to do it. Your body works in very interesting ways to make you hit a homeostasis rather than keeping going. So have a look at your step count. Can you increase it? Can you at least keep it the same throughout would be a key thing. Now, other things to consider are, in terms of your training, can you increase the stimulus? Whether that's, there's many variables here. You've got time. You could increase the time you train for. Now, this is hard for a lot of people, including me. So one way of doing that is, if you are short on time, doing like little snap-exercising through the day, like I talked about I'm doing today. Little snap exercise through the day, get a little set in, move on, get a little set in, move on, get a little set in, feed the baby, get a little set in, play with the kids, get a little set in, take the kids to the party, get a little set in. Throughout the day I've done like 20, 30 sets sometimes. But if you'd have told me, can you find an hour time? Not going to happen. Even half an hour, going to be difficult sometimes. Of course, you can prioritize time. Sometimes, though, it's just more practical to do it like this. It's not always optimal, but it's practical. And practical gets done. I've got a hair clip in my hair. There you go. Look at that. That's 2 daughters. Living with 2 daughters. There you go. Do my hair. Come and do a set. That's a prime example there. I wonder what that was. I was got to get worried there. What the hell's in my hair? So let's move on to the strength side of things. Then we want to progress over time. We want to create a stimulus that's going to help change our body shape. Similar with fitness. So if you go with strength, can we increase the weight that we lift? That's going to be a good thing that you can keep in with the time variable. So you can train for the same time, just with a heavier weight. That's one way of progressing. You're going to burn more calories. You're going to have more of a stimulus on the body. Therefore, you're going to potentially change your body shape, build muscle, help with toning up. Another variable is as many reps as you can do it, like in that time. Can you do more reps, more sets? Because this equals more total volume. So essentially you're reducing the rest period that you do in that time. So if you've got half an hour, but you're resting 10 minutes within that half an hour, could you make sure you increase how much you're working for within that time? That's a great time efficient way as well to make sure you're progressing over time. And all these things can help like massively with breaking through plateaus, whether that's strength, whether that's fitness, whether that's weight loss. So you got your steps, you've got the time you train for, you've got the weight you lift, the reps, and the sets. All things that you can play around with to help you with that. And one thing is those little snack exercises throughout the day, on those busy days, on those days where you find it really hard to fit in. They're the ones that are going to be really, really key. So let me know how you're going to fit in. Even if you've got a busy week ahead, let me know how you're going to fit in one thing to move a bit forward, one thing that you could add in to help break through those plateaus. Have an awesome weekend, and